Hi, it's Kim. It's Wednesday, August 26th, and I've done no video of my garden this year whatsoever. I've just spent all my time working in it. So everything is way past prime, but I'm going to walk through, and full disclosure, I have my snips. I'm going to switch hands. So that I can kind of see what the plan is for next year. I put too many plants in that container. The 3 plants in the back are just way too big. It's Blue Suede Shoes, Play in the Blues, and Suncredible. I have a Scaevola back there that you can't even see. Hoopla, Sweet Potato Vine, a Verbena, which I have to admit I've been disappointed in my Verbenas this year. They have not bloomed like they have in past years. And then I also have a lemon coral sedum. I already did the big prune on this hydrangea. Strawberry vanilla, I think it is. I have to keep it out of the walkway. It literally wants to come more than halfway over the walkway. I made a mess because I took in a bouquet of hydrangeas this morning. I can't forget, I have planted the new clematis, the Moongate Mocha here. Everything I try to plant here dies. So hopefully I haven't sealed Moongate Mocha's fate. I want it to grow up through this hydrangea like the rest of my hydrangeas have several growing through. And once they make it to the top, they get sun. They also get sun in the spring before the hydrangea starts to really take off. I have a daylily in there that's I don't like, but I never see it. It's full shade. It does flower, but that's why it gets left there. I have lamium. This is my, I think it's honey apricot from Proven Winners. It's gotten not enough sun, too much bug damage. I'm not trimming back my roses at this point because I need them to realize that winter is coming. I have a hardy hibiscus that made it up through everything. I had a pot of gladiolas there, but so far no blooms. Seems late for gladiolas, but it made me just look over here and I got one bloom coming up there for the first time. So maybe. I have a Bring Me Sunshine rose that's put on some good growth and it did bloom in the spring, but again, probably could use more sunshine and a lot of bug damage. I put a lot of roses in here because I was having severe deer pressure and they were massacring my roses. I didn't plant plants in there, but I put some bird houses. There's wicked bees nests in those though that I didn't realize when I was putting those houses in there. And yes, I glued those butterflies there. We'll see how they do. My hydrangeas in this corner this year have put on a lot of growth, but not a lot of blooms. This is Hydrangea Love here, I believe. It's been there for a few years. I got 3 blooms there. The lace cap, I want to say, I think it's a Reba, but I don't know how old a Reba is. I think it's Let's Dance a Reba. There's also, I believe, a Skyview buried in there. I think it's a Skyview. I should probably take it out and move it. I have a lemony lace back there, a house plant, a spider plant. I've been very pleased with my window boxes this year. I really like the Diamond Frost Euphorbia. The apple, is it Apple Blossom? These are geraniums that I grew from seed. Looks like it could be I really like these coral ones, but I'm not crazy about Impatiens, but I'm not crazy about the color they fade to. There's like all different colors there. They start out just like the geraniums, but then they wind up with pink and coral and all kinds of colors going on in there. Oh, there's one that can be deadheaded too. I also have a Prince Tut, Baby Tut in there as well. But for full shade container, I'm gonna repeat these next year. I just absolutely love the shapes of the flowers. You get a single every now and then, but mostly doubles. They're just beautiful, and especially with this Diamond Frost Euphorbia. Beautiful. This is a container that came damaged from Proven Winners Direct. I tried doing a whole claim with them, but yeah, customer service there is not good. It was supposed to be the foolproof color, but it was so damaged when it came. I planted it anyway. It was so damaged when it came. The only flower that has shown up in here is the Impatient. The Broalia and the Terenia have never shown up. I didn't think they would because it was so damaged that I planted other plants in with it. And I really like the Mizu, and the Mizu does so much better for me in shade than it does in sun. I'll show you if I remember in some other containers the difference. It's beautiful. All right, I've planted, oh, I should point that out too. I have planted some things. This bed is one I never really show. We don't have downspouts or anything, so the water just pours off of here. I have a lemony lace. I have stuck in some all gold Haconocloa grass there and there. These are some spring containers that have now decided to come up. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. Here's the milk can container. It's got the same Impatiens in it. And this is, I don't know, I'm not crazy about those colors. But I love the initial color they come out with. So I don't know. And I'm not sure if that's a baby tut or if that's a queen tut. It did have a Diamond Frost Euphorbia in there, but it's those it got swallowed up by those two plants. Behind here is another spot I never usually show, but I've planted some Incredible hydrangeas. Behind there, I want another layer behind those hostas. And I've also planted some Honoré Joubert anemones. My dahlias and pots have not done much this year. This one still hasn't bloomed, and it's on drip. I wonder if my containers aren't big enough. I like the Incredible Blush here. I would like it to be just a hair taller, so it would be, and this is only I planted it in the fall last year maybe, so it's only its first full season. A little bit taller above the phlox would be nice. This container had the verbena and hoopla and mini Vista White, and I trimmed it, but it's looking seriously tired. This is the pink lemonade with a Picardy pink Gara in there, I believe. It was one of my favorites in the beginning of the season, but it too is looking tired. I don't know. I don't know if I would repeat that. The Gara didn't give me the effect I wanted, but maybe Gara needs a different water amount than I let it get pretty dry and it did well, so, but maybe Gara doesn't like dry. The daylilies have all gone over. I planted one Play in the Blues and one Blue Suede Shoes. Neither of them were exceptionally happy in that spot, but then again, neither was the bubblegum. I planted 2 bubblegum there too. So, I don't know. I transplanted Midnight Wine Shine Weigela, and it's been mad ever since. But note to self, annuals are not needed there. Those pink clouds, I did remove one of them up underneath, that was underneath the lavender, but they're really not needed there. I really like, not sure, well, so I have a Play in the Blues and a Blue Suede Shoes. This one is my favorite. The hummingbirds do like that one better, but I really love it next to the Munstead Rose. Those two colors together are awesome. Skyview, it's new this year, so we'll see how it does there. Those flowers were all created in the nursery environment before it got here. I initially wanted all Incredible Blush hydrangeas in this walkway. I wanted 3 of them, one in the middle and the one that's on the end. This is Home Depot error. I ordered Incredible Blush. They sent me Incredible. If you look on the website, it's pretty common. I should have known better. So I haven't put the third one in yet in the middle because I kind of wanted to see which one I really liked best, which one performed best. Again, I just wanted another taller layer above the flowers. So we'll see. This was supposed to be a sky view, but that was my mistake there. That is a Tough Stuff Top Fun. And I'm going to leave it for now. Did really well this year. This is its second year, I think, or third year. I don't know. You know, I go back through my videos. I do these videos so I'll know. Then I go back through my video and I don't mention what it is I'm looking for that I want to know. So there you have it. My videos annoy me. So, wouldn't surprise me. They annoy you too. Oh, look, I do have a couple of daylilies. Blooming. Sedum here. Oh, I don't remember which one. Another sky view, like I say. That one is been there for a couple of years. It's doing well. It does get involved with the lawnmower occasionally. I need to expand that bed out so I can mow easier, define that bed better. Everything doing well here. I have actually gotten an evergreen to live there so far. I did cover it in the winter, so I'll probably try to do that again this year because that is really heavy snow load from when we do that walkway. The snow gets thrown to either side. I didn't cut the blooms off of those because I would really love it if somehow they made it to the earth and made me a free one. I don't know. We'll see. It does occasionally happen for me, but I never really gave it a thought, so I usually don't leave the seed heads on because they're kind of ugly. Same container recipe up there. I don't know what I'll do different next year. Definitely I'm going to have some of those apple blossom. Maybe it would look pretty to have all apple blossom and now I can't remember the white flower. I've said it. Diamond Frost Euphorbia. Planted I took this out. This had a daylily in the front, and it had one of those peonies that flops. I moved the peonies that flop in the back, but they're probably not going to get enough sun to actually bloom. So eventually they'll probably come out. I planted a Sublime hydrangea, and I want to say they're peach. Oh. I planted, I don't know, peach something. Either Georgia peach or peach berry ice or, you know, something peach. I planted a bunch of heuchera this year. About probably 7 years ago, I planted some and they didn't come back. So I only learned my lesson for 7 years. We'll see. These are different. Maybe they'll come back. I also planted another ruby, Invincible ruby, in that hole right there. I would love for it to pop up with these. These are rubies. I've got 1, 2, 3, that'll be 4 now. I planted a silly string hosta there. That's different. Out of all of my containers, this one has changed the most because it had a lemon slice Super Bell that died. That's the only thing I guess I've taken out of it. I put in a saffron finch. That's done okay. But this verbena, even though it doesn't look so great now, actually did the best out of all my verbenas. That was supposed to be like the fruit punch or the fruit salad type container recipe. It was my take on it. This bed's looking a little tired. Those rubies are looking pretty good. Want them to thicken up and be like the mid layer. You have your tree, your middle, and then the Alchemilla mollis or lady's mantle. As in spring, as you can see, we have a bunch of alliums in there. I left that phlox in there. It's a spring blooming. And the delphinium, even though it's probably not really a front of the border type. I have a sweet pea. It's a perennial sweet pea that I pull out every year, and this year I just didn't fight it. I don't know. It's out of control. I guess I feel the need to want to control my plants because it's just all over the place and it usually bothers me. I've said for years I was going to take out those 2 shrubs there, but that's probably not going to happen because I have so many more flower beds that I have revived. Transplanted these dianthus, I believe, there. The only thing I don't like about them is they get weeds in the middle of them. They're not exactly easy to weed. I've got some sedums there. Those are the most common one, probably. Yeah, and I can't think of the name. Autumn Joy. Although, look at this one. I still can't figure it out. This one was supposed to be the same, but it's clearly not. It's darker, flowering earlier. I don't know. Another new hosta there. That is Party Streamers. Oh, these are new. More heuchera. Dressed up ball gown, I believe. And I really like that. I don't know. There's something about it. It's funny, too, because I haven't always been a huge fan of heuchera. It's almost like their color was a little too fake for me. But I'm really liking that. It's almost like a little skirt for that log. The containers, I overwintered this elephant ear. Might overwinter it again. All I did was throw it in a paper bag. I cut everything off, pulled it out, cut all the foliage off, and put the root, crown, whatever, bulb in a brown paper bag and put it in a closet in the house, the basement. It's a blue jay making some noise. So I'll probably do that again. God, I feel like I have to have at least one elephant ear in my garden. Took that one now a long time to really get going. But it's going. It's doing its thing. This container has done well the whole time. It's not on drip because I had to redo it. My drip is messed up. I need to redo it. But there's the Mizu. This one, I would say, this one gets morning sun. The other one gets no sun. This one gets morning sun. Neither of them are on drip. But maybe that other container does stay damper. I don't know. This container I've been pleased with. The red geraniums, that is creamsicle. The Super Belle creamsicle. Mizu, lemon coral sedum. I do need to move this container though, note to self, because I can't see it's too tall. I need a shorter one for there. A shorter one that'll fit right in that little hole, excuse me, but yet let me see my lace hydrangea. What is it? Incredible lace. It's kind of but it isn't getting a lot of sun. I had to trim my Sun King Aurelia. I actually had a little bit of flopping in my evening rose hibiscus this year. They're getting ready to bloom. It's one of my favorite colors. I like the dark. Another dahlia I have in a container shoved in there. It's got its very first bloom. That one, and it's white. What did I look? I looked at the tag the other day. Blizzard. This is new. The Eclipse hydrangea, dark leafed hydrangea. It's probably not a front of the border one, but we'll see. Behind it, I moved the Julia Child rose. It was back there. I moved it forward. This had it had a hosta that I had cut off of there, and it was too huge for this area. It had taken over. So I put in another heuchera, 2 more heucheras. This is another incredible lace that has not bloomed for me this year. And it makes me so mad. Because it's on the same side of the house, same sun, no blooms. I don't know. This container is kind of It was supposed to be a single container of this coleus, because that coleus takes off for everybody else. It's been my experience that what other people tend to experience with their plants is not the same for me. I don't consider that taking off. Like, I expected that to hit the ground and totally bush up. So I went ahead, when I got tired of waiting on it, I went ahead and put I put a red geranium in here. And we've just had 3 days of rain, which is a miracle, because we went at least about 6 weeks without rain. Nothing measurable anyway. I do have some Honoré Joubert anemones back there that I hope are... I see the plant, but I don't see any bloom spikes shooting up yet. So I really hope, because that's a nice... I love that flower, the bloom, everything about it. So I need that to do its thing back there. That's a lemony lace elderberry. Here's my pot. everything did pretty good in there. I've since cut some stuff back. The magenta is pretty much done, but that Tierra Blue is looking beautiful. I stuck this. I found this. I don't know what it is. It's a bamboo teepee type plant support. I need to remember, take that in the fall, because that is not going to last through winter. Cut those back. I need to remember to have that be like one of the first things I do in the spring, is put that back out there so those can grow through it. That is the Lucifer, I can't remember the name. Maybe it'll come to me. This is the blue chiffon Rose of Sharon. And it's blue. It's beautiful. I love that. It's doing really well there. I think I bought it in a 2 or a 3 gallon, and it's second year maybe? I don't know. I'd have to look at my old videos and see if I mention it. It's bugging me that I can't think of the name of that. I know it's Lucifer, but I can't remember. This is a bed here that I'm creating-ish. It's hard to mow between the fence and the serviceberry. So I was like, well, I'll just make it into a bed. I've spent a lot of time on garden beds this year because I've had the time. This is a new rose. Oh, so easy peasy. I'm excited about that. Swore after Georgia I would never put another landscape type rose in because that's what's common down there, and so I don't know. I'm very much into the English style roses. I think this is Bliss Perfuma. I moved it. I'll show you where I moved it from. I had 2 other tater tot arborvitaes here. They don't do real well in the winter, even though this isn't a spot where snow gets blown, snow from snow blowing and snow removal. So I took 2 out. Hopefully I'll show you, but this is going to be really long. I moved another rose down there that wasn't getting enough sun from where it was at. It definitely gets more sun there, even though it doesn't look like it right now. Moved this blue spruce because I don't have the patience for it. If it dies, it dies. I have a horrible time planting evergreens here, especially trees. There's a few I'm okay with, but anything blue is like rare. I think I have one other. No, that's not true. I do have a lot of Blue Point junipers. This used to be farmland, and I think it was limed so much. I don't know. I transplanted this one. I think it's double play doozy. It's a little mad because it's been transplanted. Those are weeds. That is my worst weed, whatever that is. I should look it up. Something that I can't stand so much because the taproot is so deep. I don't think I've ever gotten the full taproot on one of those. Over here, we have the monstrous Perfect Storm hardy hibiscus that's not blooming yet. It's getting ready. These are new. These are the Helen von Stein lamb's ear. I've planted several of those this year. I brought my snips because This is what I was going to do when I decided to do a video. This plant here needs, this dahlia is the purple, vibrant violet. And I really do love that with that salvia and that. I didn't need all the other plants underneath, the verbena, where you can see like onesies and twosies popping out there. That's a Francis Mayland rose. But I thought Francis Mayland was like the brand. But I can't find anything other than Francis Mayland on that rose. It's a pretty one. Powwow, Millennium, 2 sky views. This is a second year. This one is new. A lot of sun in this. This would be a full sun location. So it suffered a little bit. It'll be fine once it has a chance to come back from its own, like next year. It'll come back used to this area. I got some weeds. Chives, which I don't hate when they bloom. I have a container here that I pretty much repeat the same thing every year. So that's got a saffron finch, some of my geraniums from seed, diamond frost, the Dichondra Silver Falls. It has none of my Scaevola this year. They were my favorite last year. None of them really did much this year. Oh, it smells wonderful in here. This clematis, I didn't plant anything in here this year. These were just actually put up. I like little pockets for when I'm mowing to come by. It would be nice if I could plant something pretty shade loving, although it gets more sun than I thought it would from this arbor. But something that, like, the smell in here is great. So when I mow underneath here, what clematis is that? Sweet Summer Love. I'm not sure if that's what I said, or if I said anything. Later blooming than this clematis. This one's an early one, a white one. This is the first year this has bloomed. So there's that. But next year I'll have 2 little pockets of something in there. Hopefully that will be a nice scent for when I'm mowing under the arbor. So I rarely ever show this part. I used to have a Vanderwolf pine there that got split right down through the middle in the winter. Yes, that's my sigh of, again, another evergreen that bit the dust. So in its place, I went with a weeping willow, which is probably fairly close to this flower bed and this other dappled willow. But we'll see. I just ordered this. I'm pretty much about to give up on spring planting of, I call them whips, bare root plants. Don't do well at all for me. But wait a minute here. Look. It is alive. I don't know if you can see that, but there are some green leaves poking out. I was a little bit annoyed, I'm not gonna lie. I bought it on Etsy. It's the size. I just never dreamt that this time of year in August you could buy a bare root plant that didn't have any leaves on it. So I was like, great. But it's getting leaves. So there's that. I have a Green Mountain boxwood there that got hammered. Both of them actually got hammered pretty good in the winter. New hosta, which is, I tried to keep all the tags on them. Oh, where's it gone? There it is. That one is Wrinkle in Time. Sorry, I know this is long, but this is a transplant volunteer hosta. And then I planted the Illuminati Towers mock orange. There's a hole there, nice size, some tall spring interest there. Daylilies, I never show the back of this bed. I basically just keep this section mowed to keep the goldenrod out of my flower beds. But I've planted a number of hostas back here to help with the weeds. And a couple of Let's Dance Lovable. This one, I believe, is Miss America. Where's your tag? What is with me and the tags? Oh, I think it's Miss America. Let's see. Because this one is Coast to Coast. This one is trying to get a flower. Sorry, you probably can't even see what I'm doing here. And I hope I have a video with those names. And then this is next to the chicken coop. That's why I never show this section. I trimmed back this elderberry a lot. It gets out of control. So I've tried to keep it more in a tree form. I planted some shrimp on the Barbie. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shrimp on the Barbie. That's all I can remember. This lamb's ear here is not the Helen Bonstein, and it is a volunteer. Once you have lamb's ear in your garden, you will always have lamb's ear in your garden. I want to say Ligularia, but I don't think that's it. Shrimp on the Barbie. I don't know. I've got another one. I think this hosta's Old Glory. It is. This hosta is Wild Imagination. That one back there is Fragrant Bouquet. We have Rainforest Sunrise. Man, I planted a ton of them this year. We've got 2 over here. One with a weed growing up through it. This one is, the top is broke off of it. This one is Wiggles and Squiggles. Oh, I bet you that's the top. Voices in the Wind. So that one is Voices in the Wind. I've got 2 over here. One is Dancing with Dragons. And I think this one is Love Story. It is Love Story. Maybe we'll just go around this way. This is my hydrangea hedge that really annoyed me for like 2 whole days because for some reason I decided to plant 2 different hydrangeas every other. So I was like, you're never going to remember. I wrote the name on the fence, Limelight, back there. Started with Limelight, and there, now I find the name of it. Quickfire Fab. I couldn't find what the Quickfire Fab. I knew the others were Limelight, but I could not find Quickfire Fab to save my life. I finally went on the website where I purchased them, looked under account, orders. There it was. These were planted, and I don't even remember when. I should know because I went back in the videos. I got a huge weed. I went back in the videos. I want to say it was 2024, 2025. These were quart containers. But, so I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. I wasn't crazy about the two different ones. But I actually kind of like it. It's growing on me. And it feels like too much work. I got impatient and started planting other things in between. There was daylilies in here, roses in here. I still got, that's a volunteer verbena bonariensis. I love that plant. And it does just hop around the garden. And the funny thing is, not in its original location. I originally had it over there on the front walkway. Never comes back on the front walkway. Not sure why. Maybe it's because the front walkway is really thick. But I like it because Quickfire Fab is much earlier to bloom than Limelight. So therefore I have white, pink, white, pink, white, pink, and so on. I didn't dare put another one there because that's our path, one of our pathways. That's to the chicken run. That's just a piece of farm equipment that I found in the woods. Stuck it there. It's moved around the garden too. But the hostas are much easier to maneuver through. I have to keep trimming that back to walk through there. It's difficult. But let me tell you, the 8-inch hedge trimmers from DeWalt, where have they been all my life? First of all, I abuse them royally because I treat it like a chainsaw. If you walk up to something that's pretty good size and you smack it hard enough with it on, it'll snap it off. Do not recommend that course of action. But this, and I'll show you from the other side. I'm one of those people that has not been a huge fan of the Kinsley's Ghost Honeysuckle because it's a beast. It's a beast. But I took after it with my hedge trimmers and made it kind of like almost into a bonsai. I'm sure a bonsai is much smaller, so that reference probably doesn't pertain at all. But I love it. Totally. I just sawed at it. Just took everything off the top, sides, whatever, because you've either got to love something or it's got to go. Plant-wise. Let's not get carried away. I got a huge weed in there. Another Verbena bonariensis. So anyway, I went through all my videos to find out what hydrangea that was. Didn't mention it in any of my videos that I could find. Quickfire Fab. Because I'm doing more hydrangeas because I have to have them all. And I didn't want to repeat what I already have. So there you go. So this is the outside of this outside of this room. We went through that way and around. So now we're going this way. Pink cashmere verbena is coming back into bloom, but it was out for a long time. This has been a dud. Complete dud container. Saffron Finch, you have disappointed me in this container. But we have had a drought year, and it was such a bad drought. Which, I mean, 5 miles down the road can be complete torrential rain and just not hit our house. So I do have stuff on drip. Like I say, my drip isn't 100%. I think I ran it too long, too far of a distance. Anyway, the year's almost over, gardening wise, unfortunately. Makes me sad. These are 3 new heucheras. I don't have a clue what one they are. I bought them off of Etsy. They're small. But we'll see. We'll see if they last through the winter. Stuck a hydrangea, a dahlia in a container there. That one has bloomed okay compared to the rest of them in containers. I really like this layer, the hydrangea. Tiny tidbit, maybe? I don't know, I'd have to look. I'm not impressed with the flower power. It's taken them forever. But I like that, the layer, the size. That, the Kismet Raspberry, and the Incredibles. Love that look. And the birch tree. Birch trees are river birch. I've just planted 3 more, and I got 3 more coming. I want to order 3 more. And let me tell you, I order them off of Etsy. This one was probably 18-inch sticks when I bought it. These ones I got were at least 2 feet and had leaves. I just planted them today. They're in a spot that I'm not going to show you because it's out in the wilderness. I'm trying to do native. I'm trying to let my whole front yard be natural, but a lot of it's ending up to be goldenrod, which I know is a native and it's necessary and stuff, but I just don't want all goldenrod. This container's been great, except for the verbena. The verbena's maybe got one that's starting to come back there. Same one as the front walkway. I'd have to look and see which verbena it is, but I'm going to do a whole lot less verbena next year, I believe. But that is one, either playing the blues or blue suede shoes, and that is beautiful. That's done so well there. And the Mini Vista White, Super Tunia Mini Vista White's done really well there. I have a weed, but that's a prickly one, so I'm not going to just reach in and pull that out on camera because you got to get down to the base of it. I have some pink silene there, which is a great early spring, but it does leave a hole. So I went ahead and popped in another Kismet Raspberry kind of in front of them so that I can get later season color there. Should have moved it away from this container a little bit. This is a new hosta called Wee. These are looking pretty bad. Could use a cut back. That's hosta drinking gourd. This is another dahlia in a pot that has not. That's Caitlin something. It's got a ton of blooms on it, but has not bloomed yet. Joey Winnie. has been my most prolific bloomer in a container. Container back there is not getting enough sun. Hasn't been impressive. I would have to do, if that container is going to stay in the shade, more shade, it gets morning sun through this way. I'll have to do something. Anyway, that container hasn't impressed me. Got an echinacea there that I'm not sure what it is. These are new. These are campanula, I believe, that I planted from seed and planted last spring, and they have not bloomed yet. So maybe I'm just cultivating a weed. I don't know. These are caramel heuchera. I have some more Verbena bonariensis. That's what these are too, that are popping up. They are more of that. They're probably too close to the front of the border. This is the other smaller open bloom hydrangea that I transplanted there. These are Invincible Mini Mauvettes, 4 of them. Those are new. That's new back there. That's a Durvella, the darkest one. Kodiak Black or Kodiak Jet Black. Durvilla. So we'll see how that does. I needed a darker color in this area, so hopefully it'll kind of fill in that void. Oh, I just noticed those phlox are blooming back there. They're my last one to bloom. This container has too much in it, but it's doing, I haven't hated it. Oh, what do we got there? Oh, just a leaf. This is a dahlia, a ball dahlia, little yellow. I forget the name of it. It hasn't impressed me. I don't know, my dahlias this year. This is Golden Scepter. There's 2 of them. And they get like 1 flower at a time. They got huge bushes, but not much flower power. I am going to save the tubers from those 2 this year. We'll see about the rest. The rest are in pots, so I'll probably just throw pots in the shed and call it good. Again, so this Verbena came back, but it lulled for a long time. So I don't know. These got the bubblegum got a serious haircut. They were growing all into everything around them. So I just took those hedge trimmers and just cut a path. Getting a little second bloom on my spireas, some of them. I burnt that one with my hedge trimmers. I cut it too short, too tight. That is Hardy Hibiscus Lilac Crush. Suncredible Sunflowers. They've been nice there. It's been okay. These are Magenta Petunias. All Eyes on Me, which isn't planted yet, as well as a Smoke Bush, purple. Everything in that container has died except for the salvia. Blue Jangles has a couple of non-blue blooms on it. Candy Crush has got its first bloom, and I don't know what that is. It's beautiful though. Don't know. I don't know if that's another evening rose or what. These hydrangeas are pretty. It's funny because they kind of come out pink, but then as the season goes on, they're a little bit more purple. That's a Limetta. That's a new, that's the hot stepper, I believe. That's a new hydrangea. Ambridge rose, all dressed up, and another Munstead that's in there. Oh, I wanted to say for my records, there is a coral, reminiscent coral in there, and it is alive. I also planted another Helen von Stein down there, Helen von Stein down there, and then another one over here. These containers haven't been bad. That one, all I needed to put in was that Surefire White Begonia. That Broalia's done well. All right. Spicy Perfuma, Desiree Rose, Fun in the Sun Rose is in there, Lady of Shalott, another Reminiscent Pink. Favorite big leaf hydrangea this year is Summer Crush. Oh, I hope it comes back, and I hope it just gets more and more beautiful. All right, this is getting really long. Blue Fortune Agastaki. This is Valentine Crush. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I don't know if the camera picks up the color, and it's got like a shine to the flower with the sun shining on it, and the gold on the whatever part of the flower that is, where the sun is hitting it. Quickly, I propagated a lot of my daylilies. These are the seed pod heads. So hopefully I can plant and get some new daylilies. Benzabelle Spirit 2 started to flop just a little bit with this latest rain. The new Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz totally ran over and ate up all of my velvet. You can see there's one little spot of velvet showing there. I also had that are not doing so well. The purple lobelia. I think that's lobelia or scavola. I don't know. More phlox. That verbena there is doing all right, but everything else in that container is the Cool Jazz has made it all the way up to the top of that container. Same thing with Hoopla. Hoopla's a pretty good one. That Plectranthus. These were unnecessary. They're beautiful, but again, unnecessary. I have one of my favorite roses, Olivia Rose Austin, moved her out of that hydrangea hedge to over here so she wouldn't get swallowed up. All right, I'm going to call it for this one because we're already over an hour. See you in the next video.